Hello. Welcome back. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and for joining me. I'm often compelled to mention, and it seems like it's almost always at the beginning of one of these videos, isn't it? That I'm just compelled to state and to highlight and hope that you get the importance of your dedication and commitment to your spiritual practice, which is, of course, the highest offering you could give anyone anywhere. And perhaps it has dawned on you what that really means. Yeah, so thank you for that. Let's just state that right away. So, we're having a discussion today that I hope hits home on a certain level somewhere for you, and that you get a message from this conversation that will inspire you to practice and to continue practicing and to continue to forgive the Son of God and to extend love to the Son of God. When you extend love to a brother, you're extending it to yourself. Why? There is no separation, period. So we have here one of these conversations today that only covers one paragraph of the text, which is quite enough for a lengthy conversation, as it turns out. I mean, they all are. Specifically, chapter 11, section 8, paragraph 4, if you're following along, and I hope you are. This section of the text is entitled The Problem and the Answer. What's the problem? Separation. What's the answer? The Holy Spirit, your inner teacher. You'll notice in this paragraph that answer appears in at least one place with a capital A, one of the names for our inner teacher in A Course in Miracles. And there are many of those, aren't there? There's the voice for God, there's the name the Holy Spirit, there is Comforter with a capital C, the answer with a capital A, mediator, capital M, between our insane ego driven delusions and the peace of God, because the Holy Spirit can recognize both and leads us to set one of these, the ego, madness, aside. The Holy Spirit is the answer, capital A. So, because we can call it by many names, it makes absolutely no difference what you call it. It's not a person. So, we can use whatever pronoun we want for the Holy Spirit. This book uses he and him, the masculine pronouns, which it uses to refer to God as well, which is pretty much just a convention of words. What is important for us to get is that the Holy Spirit's part of our mind. The answer has already been placed there, and it is ours but for the asking. It is ours but for the acceptance, which is very powerful. It's so powerful, it's just really, really cool. It's beyond words. So let's just put it that way. It's really, really cool. I mean, when you begin to get the magnitude of all of this, it's just really gripping. It's powerful. And I hope for you, it's inspiring. I really do. So in this problem, the problem is separation. It's the only error. So it's the only one that needs to be corrected because it's the only error. It's the only error that needs to be corrected. We don't have 8 billion errors in this one with many supposedly outward forms. This error is separation, the problem. We think we're separate from each other. We think we're separate from God. And we run amok, absolutely amok, and we're terrified. And we don't have to be. This need not be. because in truth, it's not. So we have only to lift the veil, so to speak, to set our illusions aside. The problem is separation, and we're hiding from truth. We're hiding from ourselves when we think we're a frail body that may, if we have good health and things like that, live 80, 90 years, possibly a lot less than that. We see this all the time. What's important to recognize there is this is completely impermanent, and it's not who you are. A physical body that's 80% water anyway, some guts and bones and cartilaginous tissue and I don't know, stuff. That's not the Son of God. There's so much more to us than just this image on your screen. So when we think that this constitutes who we are, when we think that we're our job, our social status, our gender, our education status, if any, right? Our political affiliation, if any, right? All of the labels that we place and heap upon ourselves here. When we think this constitutes us, the unflattering reality here is we're hiding from the truth. And we don't have to. There's no need to hide from truth. It's not scary. God is love, and love is not jealous. Not at all. Jealousy is not love, it's separation. God doesn't punish, we punish ourselves. And this need not be. We're defending ourselves against the truth by walling up into our ball and walling ourselves off from our brother, from God, from everything, thinking we're an individual, self sustaining survival unit. You have probably heard me use that term before. It's a perfect descriptor of what we think we are when we side with the ego, when we want the problem instead of the answer. It's another way of looking at this. We think we're an individual. We think we exist independently, self sustaining of other individuals. And we think we're a survival unit, that our job is to survive this world. Well, this doesn't survive this world, does it? It's not us. So we don't have to choose the problem. We could choose instead the answer. We have the answer, capital A, already. Why does this answer work? We didn't make it. We made all of this. We made war. We made our drama. We made anxiety. We made our stress level. I mean, we made our gray hair, didn't we? And we don't have to continue to mistake all of this for our reality. The answer works because God created it. We didn't make it. It's not of our worldly making. That's why it will work. When we look for solutions here in the world, in more money, more sex, more drugs, more rock and roll, a better bottle of wine, a bigger boat, a bigger car, a bigger house. Yes, more status, more prestige. Gimme, 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 please, right? When we look for solutions to the problem in the world, we don't find them. We find more problem. The solution has to come from outside the dream. And it has come from outside the dream. It's there right now, but for the asking, but for the acceptance of the answer. We made the problem of separation, and God has answered. So Jesus asks us a very, very simple, and you may find it poignant, you may find it a hard hitting question here in paragraph 4. Do you want the problem or do you want the answer? Hmm. Yeah, just that. Do you want the problem or do you want the answer? And when you choose the answer, you'll know that it is there and it is yours and it will be given to you. It is given already. The answer is there. You have only to ask for it and allow it. If you're concerned that it won't be given to you, it will. It's already there. This is another way of stating what I often state here on these videos, that it's so important. It's imperative, in fact, that we learn to accept truth just as it is. It's another way of saying that. Let's accept the answer because the answer is given us. It is not some mystery. None of this, in fact, is a mystery. There are plenty of people in the world that refer to spirituality as a mystery. Well, this course aims to really, really help you demystify all of that. There is no mystery. There's one problem and one answer. Let's accept the answer and ask ourselves honestly. And I invite you to do just this, to honestly ask yourself, do I want the problem or do I want the answer? And I hope that you may choose the answer. All right. Yes, this course is simple. It is the simplicity that we think we have to run from when we think that it can't be that easy. It can't be that simple. Are you kidding me? It's got to be complicated because we're used to complicating our lives, aren't we? So let's invite some of this simplicity today. I invite you to join me here if you have not subscribed to this channel. This red arrow, red and white kind of thing here in the corner of your screen is the prompt to do just that. When you click or hover over that, you'll be prompted to subscribe and join us. So please go ahead and do that. You deserve nothing less than awakening. You deserve nothing less than truth. So I hope that you join me here. And by the way, if you're considering subscribing, I hope that you do that. This series of videos is ongoing. It's been going on since 2021, actually. We're coming up on 3 years, in fact. And it's offered several times a week for all experience levels. You, incidentally, do not have to be a course student to benefit and benefit greatly from this material. It's for all experience levels. And yes, it's about A Course in Miracles. But again, you do not have to be a course student. And I know that many of you are simply tuning in and checking it out, wondering what this pixelated image is going to say next. Well, the pixelated image has no idea. It just sort of comes out. When something lands, recognize who's really talking to you. It's the answer, it's your inner teacher. So, along the way, if you have comments or questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. I would be happy to hear from you. Many people have asked excellent questions here in the comment thread, so please feel welcome to do that, or just stop in and say hello, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and for joining me.